What if I told you that a factory worker rejected by his hometown club would go on to break Premier League records and win one of the most unlikely titles in sport history? Sounds impossible, right? But this isn't a fairy tale. This is the true story of Jamie Vardy, the man who rewrote the rulebook and what it takes to become a football legend. In the world of football, we're used to hearing about wonder kids who have been groomed for stardom since they could walk. Players scouted at 10, signed at 12, and making their professional debuts before they can legally drive. But every once in a while, a story comes along that turns everything we think we know about football on its head. Jamie Vardy's tale is one such story. Born in Sheffield, England, Vardy's journey to the top wasn't paved with gold. It was littered with rejection, doubt, and more than a few pints of Skittles vodka. But it's a story that proves talent can emerge from the most unlikely places, and that sometimes the long road is the one that leads to greatness. This is the story of how a two-star non-league player became a football legend, defying odds, expectations, and everything we thought we knew about the beautiful game. Picture this: Sheffield, early 2000s. A city known for its steel, its two rival football clubs, and its no-nonsense attitude. In this tough working-class environment, a skinny kid named Jamie Vardy was dreaming of making it big in football. But dreams, as we all know, don't always align with reality. At 16, when most future stars are already turning heads in youth academies, Vardy faced his first major setback. Sheffield Wednesday, the club he'd supported since childhood, rejected him from their youth academy. For many, this would have been the end of the road, but for Vardy, it was just the beginning of a long and winding journey. Imagine the disappointment, the crushing weight of being told you're not good enough by the club you love. But instead of giving up, Vardy did what any true Sheffield lad would do. He rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He joined Stocksbridge Park Steels, a team so far down the football pyramid you'd need a telescope to see the Premier League from there. But here's the kicker. While chasing his football dreams, Vardy also had to face the harsh realities of adult life. He wasn't earning enough from football to make ends meet, so he took a job at a carbon fibre factory. Picture it, working long hours in a factory and heading straight to football practice day in, day out. It's the kind of grind that would break most people, but it was forging Vardy into something special. During this time, Vardy wasn't just playing football, he was living and breathing it. Every free moment was spent owning his skills, pushing his body to its limits. He was developing the blistering pace and clinical finishing that would later become his trademark. But more importantly, he was cultivating a hunger, a desire to prove everyone wrong that would fuel his entire career. Those early years weren't glamorous. They were filled with long bus rides to away games in front of tiny crowds, playing on pitches that were more mud than grass, but it was here, in the trenches of non-league football, that Vardy truly fell in love with the game. It wasn't about the money or the fame, it was about the pure joy of playing, of scoring goals, of winning matches. In 2010, after 3 years of grafting at Stocksbridge, Vardy's work finally started to pay off. Halifax Town, a club slightly higher up the non-league ladder, came calling with a £15,000 transfer fee. It might not sound like much in the world of multi-million-pound transfers. For Vardy, it was a significant step up. At Halifax, Vardy's goal-scoring prowess really started to shine. He was finding the net with alarming regularity, and people were starting to take notice. But it was his move to Fleetwood Town in 2011 that really set the stage for his meteoric rise. In 2011, Vardy's performances caught the eye of Fleetwood Town, a club with ambitions of climbing the football ladder. They took a chance on the young striker, and it paid off spectacularly. Vardy continued to score goals for fun, his pace and clinical finishing proving too much for defences to handle. At Fleetwood, Vardy was unstoppable. He scored 34 goals and provided 17 assists in just 40 games. Let that sink in for a moment. These are the kind of numbers that make scouts sit up and take notice. And that's exactly what happened. In 2012, Leicester City, then playing in the Championship, made a bold move. They paid £1 million for Vardy, a record fee for a non-league player. It was a gamble that raised eyebrows across the football world. How could a player from non-league football possibly be worth that much? Many football pundits thought they were mad. After all, how could a player from non-league football possibly make the jump to the Championship, let alone any higher? But Leicester saw something in Vardy that others didn't. They saw his hunger, his determination, and his raw talent. They were betting on potential, and boy, did that bet pay off. However, at first, it seemed like the skeptics might be right. Vardy struggled to adapt to the higher level of football. His first season at Leicester was tough, and he only managed 5 goals. The pace was faster, the defenders were stronger, and the pressure more intense. Many fans and pundits wrote him off, claiming he was out of his depth. But Vardy had faced doubters his entire career. He wasn't about to give up now. He worked tirelessly on his game, determined to prove he belonged at this level. And in the 2013-14 season, everything clicked. Under the guidance of manager Nigel Pearson, Vardy found his feet. He scored 16 goals and provided 10 assists that season, playing a crucial role as Leicester City gained promotion to the Premier League. The boy from Sheffield, who was once deemed not good enough for League One, was now heading to the biggest stage in English football. In Leicester's first season back in the top flight, they faced a desperate battle against relegation. With just a few games to go, they looked certain to go straight back down. But Vardy had other ideas. His crucial goals, including a spectacular performance against Manchester United, helped spark a remarkable escape. But it was the 2015-16 season that would etch Jamie Vardy's name into football folklore forever. As Leicester, tipped by many for relegation, mounted an impossible title challenge, Vardy went on a scoring streak that defied belief. He scored in 11 consecutive Premier League games, breaking the record set by Manchester United's Ruud van Nistelrooy. The boy from Sheffield, who once couldn't get a game in League Two, was now outscoring some of the world's best strikers. This wasn't just a good run of form, this was a player operating at a world-class level. As the season progressed, the unthinkable began to look possible. Leicester City, led by Vardy's goals, were actually in the title race. The football world watched in amazement as the team of underdogs kept winning week after week. And then, against all odds, they did it. Leicester City, with Jamie Vardy as their talisman, won the Premier League. It was a sporting miracle that will be talked about for generations to come. Leicester City, a team that had barely avoided relegation the previous season, with 5,000 to 1 odds of winning the league, did the unthinkable. Vardy's contribution to this miracle can't be overstated. He scored crucial goals, provided key assists, and his relentless energy and never-say-die attitude embodied everything that made that Leicester team special. He wasn't just a player on a hot streak, he was a leader, a talisman, a symbol of what can be achieved through sheer determination and hard work. The factory worker who once played non-league football while wearing an electronic tag was now a Premier League champion. But Vardy wasn't done yet. His performances had caught the eye of England manager Roy Hodgson, and in 2015 he made his international debut. From the muddy pitches of Stocksbridge to representing his country at the European Championship and World Cup, Vardy's rise was complete. But this wasn't just a story about one man's success. It was a reminder that in football, anything is possible. Throughout his Premier League career, Vardy has continued to defy expectations. He's broken the 100 Premier League goals milestone, joining an elite group of strikers. His playing style, characterised by blistering pace, relentless work rate, and clinical finishing, has made him one of the most feared strikers in the league. The impact of Vardy's incredible journey was felt far beyond the football pitch. Overnight, he became a symbol of hope for every non-league player dreaming of making it big. His story was proof that talent, determination, and a never-say-die attitude could overcome any obstacle. Leicester City's triumph, with Vardy at its heart, sent shockwaves through the football world. It challenged the notion that only the richest clubs could win the Premier League. Suddenly, fans of every underdog team dared to dream. For Vardy himself, life changed dramatically. Quiet lad from Sheffield was now a household name. Journalists clamoured for interviews. Fans asked for autographs, and lucrative sponsorship deals rolled in. True to his roots, Vardy remained grounded. He used his newfound fame and fortune to give back. Vardy had been involved in various charitable initiatives and youth development programs. His goal? To help non-league players follow in his footsteps. The football industry took notice too. Clubs began to scout non-league football more intensely, hoping to unearth the next Jamie Vardy. The transfer market saw a surge in interest for players from lower leagues, with teams willing to take a chance on raw talent. Vardy's unique playing style also left its mark on tactical discussions. His speed, work rate, and clinical finishing perfectly suited Leicester's counter-attacking style. Managers and coaches studied how to best utilise players with similar attributes. But perhaps the most significant impact was on the mindset of players and fans alike. Vardy's story became a rallying cry for anyone who had ever been told they weren't good enough. It was living proof, with enough belief and hard work, the impossible could become possible. In the pubs and on the terraces, fans debated where Vardy's achievements ranked in football history. Was this the greatest underdog story ever? Had any player ever risen so far, so fast? For Vardy himself, the challenge was now to prove that this wasn't a one-season wonder. As the dust settled on Leicester's miraculous season, one thing was clear. Jamie Vardy had written his name into football legend, but his story was far from over. In the years following Leicester's fairy tale season, Jamie Vardy continued to defy expectations. Many thought he might be a one-season wonder, but Vardy had other ideas. He kept scoring goals, season after season, proving that his success was no fluke. His consistency was remarkable. Even as he entered his 30s, an age when many strikers begin to slow down, Vardy maintained his blistering pace and clinical finishing. He continued to be a key player for Leicester City, helping them establish themselves as regular contenders for European places. The Vardy effect also changed how many people viewed player development. The traditional path of joining a big club's academy at a young age was no longer seen as the only route to the top. Vardy's journey showed that late bloomers could still make it, challenging the often rigid structures of youth development in professional football. Off the pitch, Vardy's rags to riches story captured the public's imagination. Books were written, documentaries were made, and his life story even attracted interest from Hollywood. He became more than just a footballer, he was a cultural icon, a symbol of what could be achieved through sheer determination and self-belief. Even as he enters the twilight of his career, Vardy has continued to perform at a high level. His longevity was a testament to his professionalism and dedication. In a sport often dominated by young talents, Vardy showed that age was just a number. As football evolves, with increasing emphasis on statistics and data analysis, Vardy's story remains a reminder that some things can't be measured. His hunger, his determination, and his ability to rise to the occasion were qualities that went beyond numbers on a spreadsheet. In the broader context of football history, Vardy's rise challenged the notion that the age of fairy tales in football was over. In an era of big money and super clubs, his story showed that the beautiful game could still produce moments of magic that defied all logic. Years after Leicester's incredible title win, fans and pundits still debated where it ranked among the greatest sporting achievements. Central to that discussion was always Jamie Vardy, the non-league striker who became a Premier League champion. As new generations of football fans grew up, Vardy's story was told and retold. It became part of football folklore, a tale to inspire anyone who had ever been told they weren't good enough. In the end, Jamie Vardy didn't just become a football legend, he changed the game itself. From non-league nobody to Premier League legend, Jamie Vardy's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance and self-belief. But while Vardy's rise was meteoric, some players are born to play at the highest level, even at a young age. In our next video, we'll explore the scary truth about Cole Palmer nobody is noticing. You won't want to miss it.